people give money for charity.
Oh, yes.
Would you mind answering a question about that hoarding over the road there?
You mean that one over there?
Yes, it's about giving generously. Now, would you say it was effective, very effective, or not effective at all?
I see. Well, it's hard to say, really.
Thank you. Excuse me, sir. May
Yes?
I ask you a few questions?
Yes.
Would you say you were a generous man?
Well, reasonably generous as far as possible, yes.
Would you mind telling me what effect that hoarding over the road has on you when you see it?
Which one?
One over there.
Can't say I've ever really looked at it, to tell you the truth. Anyone who did look at it would have an effect on, I should think. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Looked at close enough, that is.
Thank you.
I mean, look at it. What's he got going for it? Tin with a label round it. And a slit in the top.
Yes.
As for those,
That's somebody's idea of a joke.
12 dozen gross Remembrance Day style Flanders type poppies. Ideal fundraising enterprise.
Or would dispose of to private collector wishing purchase in bulk.
So have Harry take those out and get rid of them.
It's all got into a great big rut, hasn't it?
It's terrible. I mean, who's going to be overcome with the urge to give when he finds that shoved under his nose?
The whole thing's ripe for a complete rethink. From the ground up. The whole charity scene.
As to what it's basically all about.
What it is you're really trying to do, and whether you're even beginning to go about it in the right way.
What's needed, urgently, in fact there's not much you can do until we've got it, is a proper research into the motivation so far as the urge to give is concerned.
Yes.
I mean, nobody knows why people give.
We need a survey.
That's what I mean.
May I?
No, because we never have, not a proper one.
It's never self-denial week again, is it?
Oh, no. This is flood victims, I think. Unless it's animals or one of those. It's one of those anyway. Oh, no. It's children. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Otherwise, it's just shots in the dark.
Yeah. Blind beggar on the end of that. Best idea we come up with so far.
Grounds of taste, I suppose.
Done in the right way.
I don't see why not. Tatty old Arthur Rain's outfit, bit of string tied down the waist. Mug fastened to it.
Oh, passier than going round, in fact.
Yeah.
I mean, War on Want, Oxfam, National Disaster Fund, you might just as well be making out a cheque to the income tax. Whereas, see some poor old sod standing in the gutter and you think, Christ.
Absolutely with you.
Yes. The only thing that bothers me a bit, there are beggars and beggars. Oh, we're not talking about sores all over them. I sincerely...
Oh, no.
Because that would be self-defeating.
No. Just selling matches in the street.
Blind, 7 children.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Good. Yes. Well, I think it's worth following up.
Affluent society, welfare state, caters for the impulsive gesture.
Which people get precious little chance nowadays to have anything.
A whole new area of untapped giving potential.
Well, we thought so.
Plus someone to feel conspicuously better off than.
Yes.
A glow of satisfaction.
Sense of being a warm, giving, generous sort of person.
Which at 10 new pence a throw is a bargain in anybody's currency. How do we stand in blind beggars these days? Don't often see one.
Well, that in itself, in a way.
Nostalgia for the bad old days.
On the other hand, if there aren't any about.
We wondered about an agency.
The people we had the Father Christmases from.
And let Trevor get to work on the basis of whatever we can find in the way of pictures.
Pictures?
Illustrated London News, 30s vintage.
Authentic period feel. So that whatever we mock up is absolutely right so far as total credibility is concerned.
No. If we're going to do it, we go for the real thing.
You actual beggar?
The one thing it's got to be is genuine. Any slight suggestion of phoniness and you kill the whole thing stone dead.
Yeah.
Real beggar or nothing.
Well, I take your point, but there must be...
Harry, too.
Anyway, first find your beggar and then... Yes. I think we've got something that might easily catch on, if it's presented right. Sort of thing the man in the street might react to very sympathetically, once it's put to him.
Make use of a blind beggar.
A what?
A blind beggar, or something of that kind, if one were available, with a mug that you could put money into, rather than some big, impersonal charity organization.
Yes. Yes, I would.
Thank you. Could you use a beggar in your home? Yes. Thank you. Provided it was done properly. When you say properly, well, properly organized. With a welfare scheme and that, for the beggars. Yes.
So is it not exploited?
Thank you very much.
A survey eventually, yes. Once we've got something going, we can confront people with. And then a few reactions might help. But since we've got the go-ahead anyway from Thing, I think we're on a much better track if we say sod the survey and concentrate on flushing out a blind beggar from somewhere that we can work on.
It's the wrong way round of doing things, John.
Feel our way towards something workable first, then test opinion later.
It could turn out to be a dead duck.
I don't think so, Robin. I don't think so.
If you had a sudden urge to give but didn't want to go out, perhaps if it was raining or something, well, would you be interested in having one on call?
Well, if such a service was offered, well, I'm afraid I must think about it.
Thank you very much.
It's a whole new field. It's never been properly explored. I mean, why shouldn't it catch on?
Have one on call.
A tycoon or somebody.
I suppose it's feasible.
Of course it's feasible. Filthy rich, you have guilt feelings as a form of therapy, helping a fellow creature in distress.
Yeah.
So what do? You have your own personal blind beggar laid on.
He's on his way out now, Mr. Studebaker.
But didn't want to go out. Perhaps if it was raining.
Anyone who was desirous of giving, if there were such a service available? Oh, yes.
Status symbol, even.
Could be.
It's a human need, isn't it? In moderation. Man shall not live by bread alone, as they say. Ah, yes. Someone to give to. It's a very healthy development. Practical Christianity. Yes.
What was the hold-up?
Halfway around London looking for him.
You should have been in the arcade.
Told him to move on or something.
Told him to move on. Who'll buy? Have that looked into.
Yes, well, by which time, if Turkey is happy, we can contact Stockholm with a view to getting a realistic response from the other two. Well, Paris is in the bag. Montevideo's dickering. No, not so far, but give them time. Well, I'll tell you what I intend to do there. I'll guarantee the first 80 million as a gesture of goodwill. As far as dollar premiums are concerned, they can pull their own chestnuts out of the fire.
It doesn't matter. Any beggar, so long as he's genuine, selling matches, anything.
Tall order, isn't it?
Playing the violin.
Or just standing there.
I see. So where do I start looking for a blind beggar playing the violin? They're not all that thick on the ground.
They were, there'd be no problem.
They're all at home with their feet up. On national assistance.
And then when you do find him, hang on to him, because we want him in here. We don't want him nobbled by anybody else.
Nobbled who by?
Anybody. If he thinks he's in demand, he'll start playing hard to get, they're fly bastards.
You're being a bit premature, aren't you? I mean, we don't even know if one exists yet.
Well, if he does, and if Howard finds him, we're in business. If he doesn't, we're not.
Great. Well, don't wait up for me.
If it's not absolutely right, I mean, it doesn't matter. We can make all the necessary adjustments as I'm willing.
Just get him in here.
So that we have something to work on.
In the meantime, where are those layouts and things?
You know, these are absolutely what we're looking for.
I thought so.
It's the whole 30s feel. I mean, look at that. And that.
Labour Exchange Scene, 1931.
We could do a whole promotion thing around this. Nostalgia for the 30s. Dole cues, depressions.
Yes.
Given the right treatment and the right feeling.
Always provided, of course, that Trevor comes up with something we can... and that's reasonably authentic.
If he looks at these first.
Because that's absolutely vital. There's, of course, Joanna, which this may be now. She's, Yes? Ah, it is you. I thought it might be. You have? Yes, yes, one moment.
Hello?
John?
Hello?
John?
Hello?
Sorry about that. I was calling John, but he's gone. Anyway, yes, great. So where are you? Where are you ringing from?
From a call box in Brompton Road. He's just outside on the curb now selling matches or something, and honestly, he couldn't be more what we're looking for. He's got an old enamel mug tied onto his coat. He's got a white stick. He's got everything. We'd be mad, Robin. He's perfect. He could have come straight out of Love on the Dome, honestly. Oh, wait a minute. There's someone... I've seen everything. Nothing. Someone just dropped sixpence into his mug and he actually touched his cap. What? No, but I will if you like. Hold on, wait a minute. Damn. You couldn't... No. I don't suppose... I wonder if you would lend me sixpence, could you? I can let you have it straight back. Damn. Wait a minute. There's a button here. I didn't see that at the bottom.
Thank you, hang on. God bless you, thank you.
Oh, yes. I think we're definitely... Actually, I'd better... It's off a coat, you see, and if I don't... Oh.
Thank you, yes, God bless you.
It's nothing. It's just an old button, only I don't seem to be... It's off a coat. It went into the mug. I was just retrieving it. Well, it was all I had, but... Oh, absolutely, the whole thing. God bless you, the lot. Yes, I should think so. Yes. Right.
See what some honeyed words will do.
What?
She's going to chat him up and give him a cup of tea and try and coax him in.
Oh, good.
So, it looks as if we won't need Trevor.
Well, let's not count our chickens. I mean, there's no harm in seeing what he's going to come up with. We don't have to make up our mind, which, well, we're not committed either way.
I was summoned.
Ah, yes. Trevor.
Something about a blind beggar with a white stick.
That's right, something along these lines.
Sort of a composite.
Yes, say that, and that.
Or whatever you want.
Yes, it shouldn't be beyond the wit of man.
It's an identikit sort of principle, and we can adjust as and when.
Yes. What am I, Agency, I suppose.
Yes, where we got the Father Christmases from.
Yes. Age-wise, what?
Well, he's got to look reasonably decrepit, so presumably it's no use asking for someone in the first full flush of youth.
No, a bit of stubble and, yes. Right. I better take...
Take them all.
Yes. I'll, have a think around these and see what...
Right.
We could end up with something very phony, you know.
Okay, so in that case, we've always got Joanna's genuine, real article to fall back on. Where is she?
I told you. She's chatting him up over a cup of tea.
Ah, that's right.
Well, not to say what you was, no. I've had the odd brush, mind you, nothing to speak of, with the arm of the law, as they say.
What happened?
Happened.
Yeah, I mean, how did they take you in?
Oh, you know, the only time I had a serious, what you might call, altercation, I was standing outside, what do you call it, in Park Lane, hotel, the big society ball, big commissionaire there, whatever he calls himself, told me to piss off on a corner, get yourself a cup of tea.
Out on your ear, and you stick off you.
This was a charity ball for blind cripples that you were trying to gatecrash. The only possible outcome is that people simply will stop giving their balls for us altogether.
Look, what I want to put to you, I don't know how much you reckon to pick up in a day, but it must be chicken feed.
Yes.
Yes, well, given a proper retainer and a percentage of the take, on a mutual basis.
Yeah. Let me think about it.
Yes, well, here's my... in case you want to get in touch.
Here, Willow. Let me give it a bit of a think.
Yes. I think we might have something going for us here.
Almost indistinguishable.
From the real thing.
These being what?
Kettle holders.
What on earth are they?
You use it when you pick up a kettle.
Well, I certainly never have.
It gives the right, period touch, though.
It can be something else. It can be matches, if you want matches. I just thought, for a change. Or bootlaces.
No, let's keep to these. It's good. He could have made them himself, which is...
Poor old sod doing his best to stand on his own 2 feet.
sort of thing people react to. Amateurish and totally useless, but well-meaning and, Oh, I like those. I think that's a nice touch.
Dark glasses?
Yes.
Blind?
That was what I was briefed to go for.
No, but when you actually see it...
Well, they can always come off.
No, I do rather jib a bit, I must say.
Actually, if he's blind, shouldn't he have a white stick?
It's coming. I've got Jessica painting one now.
What do you think?
I see what you mean.
See, it's not as if we're in business to give people guilt feelings all over the place.
All right. There's nothing says he has to be blind. I was just following instructions, that's all.
If you're made to feel uncomfortable, you tend to look the other way, Trevor, which isn't the point.
What I do feel is that by and large, he could afford to be a thought or two more scruffy.
Yes, I agree.
More scruffy.
For my money, he could. What do you think?
Wants to convey the idea of scruffiness than actually be scruffy.
Well, there's no difficulty in that, if that's what you want. I can scruff him up or down. As long as I know.
Just a fraction, without overdoing it. Authenticity.
Well, authenticity up to a point.
Avoid any sort of phoniness.
Mud splashes, passing cars.
That sort of thing.
Oh, and frayed more too at the bottom there.
If it's what you want.
Personally, I think there should be some kind of slight pong as well.
Pong?
rats or something. Or whatever it is they pong off. You could spray something on him.
Joanna, darling, we don't want to make him totally repellent.
All right, but he needs something.
What did Joanna's pong off?
Joanna's.
Someone she saw in the street. It's all right, Trevor. It's not going to affect any of this.
I see. We've got a real live one lined up, and this is just a waste of all our time.
It isn't a waste of anybody's time, Trevor, at all. It's lovely, it's nice, it's exactly what we want, and we shall certainly be using it.
So what about this pong?
It's only that it's what people would expect. It's only got to be a faint whiff. Doesn't have to be particularly unpleasant.
The idea is in the appearance. The appearance suggesting the pong.
If that's...
Whatever you decide you want. Once I know.
Yes.
He just doesn't look authentic somehow. I don't know what it is.
He looks as if he's been dreamed up by somebody trying just a little bit too hard.
Hasn't quite got it right.
It wants something, just one thing.
Porridge, perhaps?
Porridge?
As if all down his,
Oh, yeah.
Could be the one thing that's wanted, actually.
I can see hygiene problems, that's all.
Oh, it doesn't have to be your actual Scots porridge oats or anything like that. I mean, it's easy enough to get a spilt porridge effect.
Which would look like what?
Look like the real thing.
I mean, it's what they have. It's one of the things they give them.
Yes, I think with those few things, I like it.
In that case, we'll go down and get busy.
Thank you, Trevor. Absolutely first class.
Marvellous.
Absolutely what we want.
I can tell Jessica to stop painting the white stick.
Yes, I think so.
Thank you, Trevor.
Pleasure, I'm sure.
So? Yes, I think so. Don't you?
It makes the right impact.
How does he compare?
Absolutely.
He's good. He's got a good sense.
Oh, yes, he knows what he's doing. That's why I said bring him in.
Who?
Trevor.
Oh, yes.
One thing we forgot, by the way, and that was to try him out on all that.
Oh, he can do the... That's no problem.
So, what do we do now?
What do we do now? Yes, before we do anything else, is to cast our minds about for as many strategic points as we can possibly think of.
Such as bus stops, pubs, that sort of thing. Supermarkets.
Anywhere that they have a collecting box.
Yes, that makes sense.
Gauge the reaction before we plunge.
Yes.
That's new. Came in this morning. I thought so.
It's a good image to have. It's a caring image.
And what's more, it costs them nothing, except the hiring fee.
Yes. Right. Well, how many we've got to play with, incidentally?
5 as of now.
Which we are...
Up to a dozen.
In other words, it could be quite eye-catching if we were looking for that kind of publicity to...
As a team?
A sort of posse of them.
Anyway, we can bear in mind at a later stage.
Well, in the meantime,
and see what sort of reactions we get from.
Well, it's to do with charity. You'll probably meet one in your local supermarket, and you'll have to answer a few questions, and it gives you the chance to win over £5,000 in prizes.
Well.
Has gone out. You used to see a lot of them at one time.
Times have changed.
Yes. And it gives you a chance to win over £5,000 in prizes.
I think you'd be silly, Harry. I really do, not to take advantage.
Yes.
Infradig or not, you might as well be in on it.
Porridge. I mean, I never touched the stuff.
I know you don't. You don't let me buy it. It's what you have to do nowadays if you want to make a living. And they obviously like you, or like what they've seen of you. They wouldn't have been so anxious to get you.
Yes.
It's better, whatever it is, than standing in the arcade, I should have thought. In all weathers, never knowing how much you're going to come home with.
Yes. I think he's beginning to bite. I laid it on fairly heavily when I got him on his own about how much it would be worth in hard cash in the long run to be on a permanent basis and all that.
What I'm worried about is what the opposition's up to while we're pussying around. If he's going to start playing hard to get, I suggest we scrub it and either drop the thing altogether or else go to an agency where we should have got in the first place.
I think it's worth waiting for.
In any case.
Yeah.
Give him a couple of days.
Not to mention the fact that we haven't got anything down on paper yet so far as launching the thing is concerned, which is absolutely the essence as I see it.
That's something we can be getting down to in the meantime.
While he's thinking it over.
It's not as if it couldn't be very pleasant. Taken on in a permanent capacity. In the country somewhere where you could live in.
What do you mean, live in?
An old family. We're not getting any younger. Might be just the thing. Roof over your head and nothing to pay. Gentry, something of that sort. And it's no more arduous. You could be out in the open.
Yes, I suppose you could.
People wanting that kind of service in a private capacity. Summer months, if the weather's fine, it could be just the thing.
If one were looking for an object of charity for the garden, either for one's own use or for a friend or relative, I don't think one could go far wrong with this one.
I was wondering whether we could get Harris to play ball at all.
You mean,
in the central hall.
National give week sort of idea?
30s flavour with... Well, what's wrong with a labour exchange interior mocked up with counters and wooden benches, period decor?
Or a big midnight charity thing somewhere. Everyone coming as down and outs or something.
Why not at a labour exchange?
Actually at.
Take one over. That's a marvellous idea.
Yes, the only problem...
Waiters as labour exchange clerks, and you all queue up at the buffet counter in cloth caps and mufflers.
Press.
A fine thing. Why not? On a cold and rainy night.
Reappraisal of the whole concept of charity. Imagination.
On a perfectly organised basis with an eye on the maximum cost effectiveness and programmed into the overall structure of your giving pattern.
Which to my mind is a healthy and very much overdue reaction against the sheer heartlessness, quite frankly, of the modern social setup.
And if you don't do it on impulse, how often do you do it at all?
You're so true.
Flaunting one's relative affluence, and in so doing, feeding a tiny spark of power in oneself.
It's not being mean, but looking mean. That's what motivates most of them.
Oh, really?
Well, it's a big feeling to be made. Tackle the thing in a big way.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless, sir.
That wasn't meant to go in, actually.
The trouble is, though, if we're thinking in terms of a labour exchange, they're all in places like Tooting.
There must be something more central than that. Belgravia, surely, Park Lane.
Guests to come as Jero Marchers, though, I like.
Yes.
No, nearest Lambeth.
Besides which, now's the time to have gone in, while it's catching on.
Yes.
Because it's bound to catch on.
Oh. Yes.
Once it gets taken up.
This is something with a more hang-dog expression. And it's a small cafe which serves light lunches.
Have a look round at what we've got. They're all much the same.
It's not as if you need to go anywhere you don't want to.
No.
There'd be any number of opportunities.
Yes.
If it happened to catch on, in the different circles.
What does it do to you, you see, as a man?
That's the question. Does your acceptance of my charity diminish you as a man? Because if so, I, as your benefactress, must share to some extent in that diminishment.
So now's the time to make up your mind before everybody else gets onto it.
Yes. I think you're right.
You'll need your hold all with you.
My what?
With your things in it that they gave you. To change into when you get there.
Oh, yes.
Because by how much is your stature diminished? By that much am I the less. No man is an island.
A whole cult thing in the making, if one thinks of it in those terms.
With the beggar fulfilling the role over and above, as it were.
In fact, a whole new lifestyle, which is very much now, and which allows us to take off altogether into a new concept of charity.
And in virtually any direction which is exciting and has really created something.
2 points.
And furthermore, gets us completely away from the old-fashioned
2
idea.
points. Is it what the client wants? Is it what the client is ready to pay for? And thirdly, who's going to benefit?
Well, it did seem a natural progression from what we've
I'm
just...
not making any pronouncements. Just to keep our feet firmly on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Realistic terms. I mean, what are realistic terms?
So we're back to square one again. Begging bowl, I ask you.
Plastic models of starving Africans.
Get onto the agency, cancel everything.
Masses of enthusiasm until you actually get to the moment of truth.
It's only 2 weeks' work down the drain, so don't despair. Wait till you've been here as long as I have.
Hello? Oh, look.
I suppose Trevor had better be.
Beggars was yesterday, and we shan't be needing, etc., etc. The thing is that it did have fantastic possibilities.
There's no reason why you shouldn't make a very good thing out of it.
Unfortunately, the only person that stood to gain was a down beggar, which was hardly the object of the exercise.
I think it could have been a marvellous breakthrough. With modifications.
Unfortunately, he had a spark of imagination, so I suppose it was doomed from the start.
I suppose this is going to be some new project. Waste a couple of weeks on, only to be shot down in flames at the end of it.
Very probably.
Bound to be pickings to be had. Once it's organised on a proper basis.
Lansdowne Avenue. Are we going near Lansdowne Avenue at all? Yes? Good. Take it in, will you?
Number 47, Samoa Terrace.
Can do? That's 2 dinner parties. Wall-eyed.
Can we do wall-eyed for an address in the Vincent Square area? Vincent Square area? That's wall-eyed and 5 children to support the small dinner party.
Anybody in the Vincent Square area who can do it?
Who can do what?
Wall-eyed. Or if not, perhaps...
Oh, if you want wall-eyed, darling, I'll do wall-eyed. Just say, that's all.
Clear this rubbish out of the way, and perhaps we can see what we're trying to do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like it. It's really nice.
It's really beautiful. What we need, of course, is a proper survey, not to wire people smoke.
It's why they give it up. And a clear-sighted look at the whole... Yeah. And a campaign out of that which could build into something quiet.
And organised properly.
We tend to call them give-ease, actually.
Yes, of course. No, we sell them everywhere. Yeah, anywhere where a beggar's likely to supply a need. One does have to be fairly able-bodied to be a blind cripple under modern conditions, and they are required to undergo medical tests before being accepted.
But
which is clearly going to become the big issue, and I want us to be in there. Now, this is what they've come up with themselves so far, and I think there's scope. In particular, we've got powerful backing from the tobacco industry itself for this, as an image-building exercise for it. And frankly, I'd like to see us treating the whole thing as a matter of deep public concern.
They wouldn't ask the same from you as they would from a younger man. There'd surely be jobs going on the organisational side for someone with your experience. Once you've proved yourself and worked your way up.
Yes, slightly over the odds. But it can certainly be done. Yes, we often do it to the special client for whom the 6-month wait is out of the question.
Ready?
Just about. How's it look?
That's about it. Well...
Oh, yeah.
No leaf almost.
Yeah. Where is it then?
Upstairs.
A long-term option on a site which would be ideal in many ways.
Fairly commanding site at our disposal.
Lend itself admirably to a well-judged campaign.
And which I've already earmarked for the first of a series.
Fairly hard-hitting. Yes. Going up now.
Up now?
Bit of imagination. Bit of vision. Oh, yes. You're the new elite. Some old seeker out Persia way. For a pocket full of loose change he wants to get rid of in an up-to-the-minute way. You could have as many as a dozen different top-flight international agencies competing for your services. Mobbed everywhere you go.
Yes. You could be.
In here, is it?
Come in.
Oh, am I, I brought the... He's decided to...
God, didn't you,
What exactly are we on about?
Well, I thought we would...
It's the,
rent a beggar?
Rent a what?
the project we shelved.
Using beggars.
Beggars was yesterday.
Well, in that case,
Beggars was what?
it's been dropped.
Dropped. It was being dropped.
So, that's the next step then.
Yes, what I thought...